Welcome to the Loveland Report Loan Arranger Show. I am Cleve, Loveland, Central Florida's best real estate planner, alongside Bruce Woodburn, the Loan Arranger. We're going to give you
That's me.
your mortgage news and all of your real estate news. Thanks for tuning in. This show's been on the air over 30 years, and I am in the trenches every week, every day, selling houses in Central Florida on your street. I've probably sold one of those houses, helped somebody buy it, or we manage it as an investment property. How are you doing, Bruce?
I'm doing really well. Just for all of our listeners out there, I had hip replacement surgery a week ago Monday. And so we're both kind of recording remotely today. So if the sound sounds a little different, it'll get better. It's because I have been pretty well laid up here for the last week and a half, but I am recovering quickly. I'm doing everything they tell me to do in PT. And by God, I'm going to get back to normal as soon as possible. But I've been watching the market, and it's just been all over the board. It's like a washing machine out there. One day we think it's gotten better, and then the next day we look and we lost something. So right now, we're still on a positive trend. But if we look at some numbers, we're going to see that interest rates, even though the news is going, oh, interest rates have dropped to 5.99, they have not dropped to 5.99 on a no point loan. Can you get 5.99? Of course you can, but you're not going to get 5.99 on a no point loan, at least not on a conventional loan. Maybe VA, we may be getting close. But I think this whole thing regarding Greenland's going to have to settle out for the market to feel a little bit better. Oil is at like $60 a barrel right now. It's incredible. So there's a lot of things happening that are positive, but there's still a little bit of unrest out there that I think needs to settle out. What do you think?
Well, I've got some really great news we're going to talk about, but I think this is Trump up to the same old stuff. And the last year has been great. Things have turned around. The stock market's been good. People have a better sense of, okay, the government's, getting out of our way and letting us work. Things are getting more affordable, which is what we want. You talk about oil being down. When all those things ripple through, when the inflation subsides, that's when the interest rates, the bond market will do better.
I'd
But
like to see an inflation number. I didn't check the inflation numbers right now,
I don't know.
but they lag behind so much, Cleve, that it's really hard to tell what's what.
I won't the numbers I get that report from the board on the 15th of every month, Bruce, and really great numbers for 2024 2025 actually beat 2024 in sales. I thought we were running
That's
behind.
fantastic.
But when the rates really solidified in the low sixes, the last quarter of the year, the sales pulled ahead and we beat it by like 4%, which is about 1,000 homes. And
A lot.
I was surprised by that. And we'll see some January numbers.
Now that's in our market, right? That's the
We're to the 4-county metro area.
Yeah.
Inventory's down. We'll dig into this in a little bit. And I want to talk about timing today for everybody too, on getting a house on the market and sold and what's the best time of year. Because really, we don't have right now. You come on the market. If you wait till spring and the market might be better, interest rate might be better, you might get more for your house that you're selling, but the one you're buying is going to, so this is why I work on
it balances out, doesn't it?
I work on everybody's real estate plan. So, but I was really surprised by 2025 pulling out a squeaker in the ninth inning, the fourth quarter there, and beating 2024 in sales, which is what we want. So, and that's still, I think 24 was the 15th, like the lowest year in 15 years since the bubble, since the Great Recession.
Right.
And 25 being better is great. And we'll see January's numbers next month, but I'm already busier. It's funny you say you're out of the office. I sent about 4 loans over your team. I didn't even know you weren't in the office. So your team's
trying to keep some of this stuff under wraps. Nobody needs to know what my pain's like. That's for sure.
Exactly. And then
nobody cares.
I think it's important they get in touch with you now. And you talk about where rates are at. Your rate is your rate, and it depends on your income, depends on your credit.
It is. You know what? And at the end of the day, Cleve, has gotten a lot better than it was this time next year. So we are going in the right direction. I've seen applications increase quite a bit. I really have to get with the office and see how they did this week, because as I said, I was working remotely, but I can see the applications coming through our system. So there's lots of people applying for loans. I'm seeing some self-employed folks applying for loans because they know it's tax season. So they want to get everything prepared for that. And if you have questions as to what type of loan will you qualify for, maybe your credit is really good, but you're self-employed and you're just wondering Can you get a conventional loan? You make a bunch of money, but you don't really declare a lot. You write a lot off. You call the loan arranger at 407-250-9144. That's 407-250-9144, or go to webringyouhome.com. Now, I notice a lot of people are liking to do online applications these days. I think that's the whole millennial attitude, and I'm fine with that. But I don't call myself an internet lender. Do I have the best online application? I think I've got the best in the industry, but I still like to meet and talk with my clients. So I prefer to do an in-person or a Zoom meeting because I want you to have a good experience. And generally, when people don't have a good experience with the home buying process or the mortgage process, it's because the realtor or the lender was just not as involved. And then people get surprises. A lot of the things you and I do, Cleve, is to manage stress with our clients so that we can address potential issues before they even come up. Hey,
Yeah.
we're going to have a home inspection. These are the potential options. Hey, we haven't had any buyers look at the house in a week. These are the options. And you go over that with your clients on a regular basis, as I do as well, because I just don't like those surprises coming later on.
Well, I see so much misinformation out there, and the phones everybody's got stuck to their head in their hands. There's so much information coming at them, and they need to see what actually works. Because a lot of time it's just people trying to sell you something, and
Right.
get this app. This will help you with your credit score. Get this app, and really they're trying to get a mortgage application out of you on the backside, and you won't know if your rates are, your rate's not going to be great, things like that. But having a professional in your corner, I've got a financial planner, I've got an estate planner, and I am my own real estate planner, but I think people need that in there. You're my mortgage
100%.
you're my mortgage planner, and that's what I watch for. So I just think 26 is going to be a great year. And if you haven't bought something, or you're thinking about moving or doing something, give me a call, 407-352-8118. But it's funny, Bruce, I heard another new real estate company advertising, and they come and go. They come and go on the air about 9 months. I'll hear them,
Sure.
the morning show guys endorsing them. And it's either part of Wall Street, which
Paying
Trump
for the ads.
paying for the ads, spending millions.
Do
Like
you,
Trump
do you
tried.
pay, do you pay any celebrities to promote your product?
No
Or
celebrity
hated law?
harmed in the making of this radio show, or needed. But I thought that's interesting about Trump trying to get Wall Street out of buying single family homes. I don't really think that's such a big deal.
It's not as big of a deal as I think he thinks it is.
Yeah.
And I think you'd probably have a tough time getting that bill to pass because you cannot stop capitalism either
Yeah.
way. Now, I understand the premise behind it because these hedge funds can go in there and dominate areas. Now, that has happened in Atlanta. There's some other, even Jacksonville, where there is a large percentage of homes that are owned by these large hedge funds. Well, when that happens, they can control the market. And we don't want that to happen.
Well, I
They
think
can raise the prices, they can raise rental rates, and you have to follow suit with them.
there's such poor customer service. Like I've helped some tenants that moved out of those properties managed by the Wall Street property manager. And they were so frustrated and flabbergasted with the old management because it's just Wall Street. You're dealing with a 1-800 number and possibly even a call center in another city trying to get your kitchen.
Or another country.
Yeah, trying to get your kitchen sink fixed. But I think the one thing that will help if he gets to, and I don't know how to, if he told Wall Street, okay, you can't be this big and buy homes, they'll just start some smaller companies and do that. But the
Yeah,
main
they'll
thing-
get around
Oh,
it.
the people that take those offers that are so far below market, those people getting more money in their pockets, like getting an extra 10, 15% in their pocket because they did actually go on the market or speak to somebody like me who got them market value instead of 70% of market value. That's where I see a good effect from that. I'd be interested to see how he wants.
Well, when anybody offers for them to buy your home for cash, no showings, no traditional way of sale, do you
Yeah.
honestly think you're going to get a fair shake on that? I mean, just listen to those words.
They
Now,
are not
you and
working
I-
in best
And,
interest.
and I want to tell our listeners something because this is a fact. I helped a client with a mortgage last month. Cleve was the agent. He brought him to Hardison Homes, one of our builders that we like. They bought a home there. They had a home to sell. She was going to one of the, you don't need to show your house. We can close in 12 days, blah, blah,
Yep.
blah, blah, blah. Okay. And she went there. And then Cleve talked to her. Cleve got my client $80,000 more for her home than she would have gotten if she went with the other deal. And here's the thing with these fast talking, you call them Wall Street companies, they're hedge funds regardless.
Yeah.
Here's what happens. They will also renegotiate the day or 2 days before closing because they know you're in a pickle then. And that happened to one of my own employees that went to one of them.
Yeah.
So if you think, if it sounds too good to be true, folks, why don't you just call the experts? Cleve and I have been in the business. Interview us. If you don't think we're the best option for you, then hire somebody that you really think is. But I can tell you right now, there's not a couple of dudes that care more about their clients than you and I. And that's a fact. And there's not a couple of guys that have more experience in our market and helping clients than you and I do. I've been doing this 35 years. You've been doing it for how many years? Almost 30 years now?
33.
33 years. So, I mean, we've got a lot of time behind us, and our team, like one of my employees have been with me for 20 years, another one for 18 years, another one for 16 years. They know this business and they're here to cater to you. If you want help with your next purchase transaction, real estate purchase transaction, you need a mortgage. Maybe you need a reverse mortgage, a purchase mortgage, construction loan, a home equity line of credit, a renovation loan. I'm doing a bunch of those. I have every product. And here's the thing, folks. I don't broker them out. They're not brokered. A brokered transaction for you means you're involving more people in your transaction. And I'll guarantee you, the broker that's closing your loan is not going to keep that loan in their name. Cross Country Mortgage services 90% of the mortgages that we originate. 90%. So here's what we do. Cleve and I are just a couple of guys. We're not the smartest guys in the room, but here's what we are. We are people that care more about our clients and want to make sure that you're happy with the situation. The deal goes as smoothly as it possibly can. You're well informed throughout the transaction. So if you want a couple of guys you can count on, then hire Cleve and I. We'll be there to help you, and we'd be honored to.
Bruce, some interesting facts talking about how the market's turning on mortgages, 5.99, whatever you end up with, 6.8. The number of people out there with mortgages below 3%, 30-year fixed,
Is diminishing.
Surpassed, it's shrinking. Some people paid them off or they've moved finally. So, and 5.5%, Bruce, is a great rate. I mean,
if we could get down to 5.5%, Cleve, I think this market is. That's one of my messages. We got one more minute before a break. So my message is: are you going to wait for rates to drop and housing prices to go up? Because if you're not jumping in the market right now, I think now is actually ideal timing to buy in the market, because you just announced inventory's down. That gives buyers more of an advantage, more negotiating room. And here's the thing. What do you want to do? Wait for that to change and then get into the market? Buy now. And we will help you keep the home you already have. If you own a home now and you'd like to keep that as a rental property, or you may say, you know what? I'd love to buy right now, but I'd like to wait for the market to spring back a little bit. Let us situation direction. Bruce Woodburn, Cross Country Mortgage, the loan arranger, 407-250-9144, or webringyouhome.com. Cleve, how can they reach you? We're going for a break.
For the best real estate planner in Central Florida, 407-352-8118, or go online to cleveloveland.com.
We'll be back in 5 minutes with more of the Loveland Report and the Loan Arranger Show. Stay tuned.